Silent night, violent night. It was Christmas Eve, and the Henderson family was nestled in their cozy suburban home, the warm glow of the fireplace casting flickering shadows on the walls. The tree was adorned with ornaments, twinkling lights, and neatly wrapped gifts beneath its boughs. Snow was falling gently outside, blanketing the yard in a pristine white layer. It looked like the perfect Christmas card. But perfection has a way of attracting monsters. Just a few blocks away, Jacob Greaves stood outside his dilapidated van, watching the Henderson home with unblinking eyes. Jacob wasn't like other people. His mind was fractured, his personality splintered into dozens of pieces. Tonight, a very particular piece of him had come to the surface. Do you see it? The lights, the laughter, they don't deserve it, a voice whispered in his head. Jacob nodded slowly, his breath fogging in the freezing air. They don't even know how lucky they are. Another voice chimed in, more childish, giggling with glee. The gifts are ours, Jacob. All of them. And their screams. They'll be our Christmas carols. He adjusted the Santa hat perched on his greasy hair, tightened his grip on the sack slung over his shoulder, and began his slow march toward the house. The intrusion inside, the Hendersons were wrapping up the night. The parents, Lisa and Mark, were sipping hot cocoa on the couch while their teenage daughter, Emma, and young son, Teddy, sat on the floor playing with a puzzle. The family dog, Max, lay by the fire, his ears occasionally twitching at the sound of the wind outside. None of them noticed the shadow that passed by the front window. Jacob tried the front door. Locked. He smirked. No problem, he muttered, pulling a crowbar from his sack. The back door was easier. The lock gave way with a quiet snap, and he slipped inside, his heavy boots muffled by the plush carpet. He paused in the kitchen, inhaling deeply. The smell of gingerbread cookies and pine needles filled his nostrils. Festive, he whispered, his lips curling into a smile. In the living room, Lisa tilted her head. Did you hear that? She asked Mark. Hear what? That sound, like a door closing. Mark waved her off. It's the wind. This old house creaks all the time. Lisa frowned but didn't press further. Jacob's eyes landed on Teddy first, the little boy giggling as he tried to fit a puzzle piece into place. The innocence, the joy, it made Jacob's blood boil. They think they're safe? Hissed a voice in his head. Show them they're wrong. Before he could stop himself, Jacob stepped into the doorway. Santa? Teddy's eyes lit up when he saw the figure in the red suit. Jacob chuckled, low and guttural. That's right, little one, but I'm not here for cookies. The family froze, their heads snapping toward the intruder. Mark shot to his feet. Who the hell are you? Get out of my house! Jacob pulled a rusted knife from his sack and pointed it at Mark. Sit down, Dad. This Christmas, I'm in charge. Lisa grabbed her phone from the coffee table, but Jacob was faster. He flung the knife and it struck the wall inches from her hand. Tsk, tsk, he said. No calls to Santa for help. Emma screamed, but Jacob silenced her with a glare. Oh, don't worry, sweetheart. We're going to have some fun. Jacob forced the family to sit around the tree. He began rummaging through the gifts, tearing off wrapping paper with manic glee. Ooh, a dollhouse for Teddy, he said, holding it up mockingly. And for Emma, a new phone. How sweet, but where's my gift? His face darkened and he turned to Mark. There's nothing for you, Mark stammered. Jacob's expression twisted into fury. Nothing for me? Nothing. After all I've done this year? He lunged at Mark, slamming him against the wall. You're just like all the others, he growled. All of you think you're better than me. Please, just take whatever you want, Lisa begged, tears streaming down her face. Oh, I'll take what I want, Jacob hissed. But first, he turned to Emma, a predatory smile spreading across his face. You're going to sing me a Christmas carol, something merry, or your daddy gets it. Emma sobbed but began to sing Silent Night, her voice trembling. Jacob swayed to the music, his knife glinting in the firelight. But as she reached the second verse, Max, the family dog, sprang to his feet, barking ferociously. The distraction was all Mark needed. He grabbed the poker from the fireplace and swung it at Jacob, catching him in the shoulder. Jacob howled in pain and lashed out wildly, slashing Mark across the arm. You're going to regret that, he snarled. The escape, Lisa grabbed Teddy and Emma, dragging them toward the front door. Run! She screamed. Jacob turned, his face a mask of rage. You're not leaving, but Max lunged at him again, sinking his teeth into Jacob's leg. Jacob screamed. The Hendersons bolted out the door and into the snowy yard. Come back! Jacob bellowed, chasing after them. He moved with an unnatural speed, his heavy boots crunching in the snow. Emma tripped, falling face first into the snow. Jacob was on her in seconds, grabbing her by the hair. "Gotcha!" he sneered. But Mark appeared behind him, swinging the poker with all his strength. It connected with Jacob's head, and he collapsed into the snow, motionless. The family didn't wait to see if he was dead. They piled into the car and sped down the driveway, Emma sobbing in the back seat. By the time the police arrived, the house was silent. Jacob's body was gone, leaving only a trail of bloody footprints leading into the woods. The Hendersons moved out of town shortly after, but every Christmas Eve, Emma would wake up in a cold sweat, haunted by the memory of Jacob's crazed grin. And somewhere, deep in the shadows, Jacob was waiting for next Christmas. After all, there were plenty of gifts and screams left to collect. Bitter Brew. The Starbucks regional office in Portland was buzzing with holiday cheer as employees gathered for their annual Christmas party. The smell of gingerbread lattes and peppermint mochas filled the air, and laughter echoed through the conference room. The centerpiece of the night was the White Elephant gift exchange, a tradition that always brought a mix of fun and chaos. The staff took turns unwrapping quirky coffee-themed gifts. A Starbucks ornament, a set of hand-painted mugs, and even a novelty apron that read, "World's Best Barista." But amidst the laughter and good-natured stealing of gifts, there was a tension in the air that only a few noticed. Samantha, a young team member who had been with the company for 5 years, sat quietly in the corner, her eyes darting toward Haley, the newest manager. Haley had been hired just a month ago, bypassing Samantha for the position Samantha had been vying for. Though Samantha had never openly voiced her frustration, her bitterness was palpable. When it was Samantha's turn to pick a gift, she walked up to the table and grabbed a small, neatly wrapped box. The paper shimmered under the fluorescent lights, and a ribbon tied it together in a perfect bow. "Fancy," someone commented as Samantha unwrapped it. Inside was a sleek, stainless steel coffee tumbler. It looked expensive, polished, minimalist, and engraved with the words, "Rise and Grind." "Nice," Samantha muttered, holding it up for everyone to see. Haley, standing nearby with a cheerful smile, chimed in. "Wow, that's a good one. Lucky pick." Samantha's jaw tightened. "Yeah, lucky." The game continued, but Samantha didn't laugh at the jokes or cheer when someone stole a popular gift. She kept her eyes on Haley, her fingers tracing the rim of the tumbler. As the night wound down, the staff began to clean up. Someone put on a Christmas playlist, and the group gathered for a toast. Haley, as the newest manager, was asked to say a few words. "I just want to thank everyone for welcoming me so warmly," Haley said, her smile bright and genuine. "It's been amazing getting to know all of you, and I'm excited for what's ahead." The team clapped, but Samantha stayed silent, her tumbler clutched tightly in her hands. When the party ended, most of the staff filtered out into the chilly night. A few stayed behind to help clean up, including Samantha and Haley. As they worked, Samantha finally spoke. "You know, I applied for your job," she said, her voice calm but sharp. Haley glanced at her, surprised. "Oh, I didn't know that." "I've been here for years," Samantha continued, stacking cups on the counter. "I know this place inside and out, the customers, the staff, the operations, but they gave it to you." Haley hesitated, sensing the shift in tone. I didn't mean to step on anyone's toes. I'm just here to do my best and work with the team." "Sure," Samantha said, her lips curling into a tight smile. "Teamwork." The room grew uncomfortably quiet as the last of the cleaning was finished. "Let me grab my stuff and I'll walk out with you," Haley said, trying to break the tension. She turned to grab her coat from the rack. When she turned back, Samantha was gone. "Sam?" Haley called out, stepping into the dimly lit hallway. The sound of a door closing echoed down the hall, followed by a loud clang. Haley's heart raced. "Hello?" The lights flickered. Haley froze. She could hear faint footsteps behind her, but when she turned around, no one was there. "Okay, not funny," Haley said, trying to steady her voice. She walked toward the kitchen, the only other area Samantha could have gone. The door creaked open slowly. Inside, the industrial coffee machines loomed like silent sentinels. "Samantha?" Haley called again. A shadow moved in the corner of her vision. Haley spun around just as Samantha stepped out of the shadows, holding the stainless steel tumbler. "You know," Samantha said, her voice eerily calm, It's funny how quickly people forget loyalty. Haley backed up, her hands trembling. Samantha, I. Before she could finish, Samantha lunged. The tumbler crashed to the floor as the struggle began. Haley managed to break free and ran toward the exit, but the door was locked. Help! Haley screamed, pounding on the door, but the sound was swallowed by the empty office building. Samantha appeared in the doorway behind her, breathing heavily, her face contorted with rage. "You don't belong here," she shouted, rushing forward. The next morning, the cleaning crew found the conference room in disarray. The Christmas tree was toppled, chairs were overturned, and a dark stain spread across the carpet. The stainless steel tumbler sat on the table, its polished surface marred by a single red handprint. Haley was never seen again. When police questioned the staff, Samantha claimed she had left early and didn't know what had happened. There was no evidence to tie her to the scene, and the case went cold. Months later, Samantha was promoted to manager. But those who worked with her noticed something strange. She never used the tumbler from the Christmas party. It stayed on her desk untouched, a silent reminder of the night she finally got what she thought she deserved. The idea was born during a late-night group chat between 4 friends: Liam, Ava, Jason, and Emily. They were a tight-knit group of bored, entitled teens who lived in an affluent suburb but were still envious of the ultra-rich celebrities who flaunted their wealth on social media. Why should they get all the good stuff? Liam had grumbled, scrolling through Instagram and stopping on a post of Kylie Jenner showing off her latest diamond-studded handbag. "We deserve it more," Ava agreed. "They don't even appreciate it. They probably won't even notice if some of it's gone." That was when Jason had the idea. What if we sent them gifts for Christmas? Play nice, but inside the gifts, we plant GPS trackers. Then we wait, find out where they live, and help ourselves to a better Christmas. The plan sounded ridiculous at first, but the more they talked, the more it started to make sense. Celebrities received so many gifts during the holidays. What was one more? Emily, the tech-savvy one, found tiny trackers online that were virtually undetectable. Liam wrote up fake cards pretending to be from adoring fans or small businesses promoting their products. Ava and Jason handled the logistics, picking out gifts that looked expensive but wouldn't raise suspicion: luxury candles, designer scarves, and gourmet chocolates. By mid-December, the group had sent gifts to several A-list celebrities, including Kylie Jenner, Drake, Taylor Swift, Kim Kardashian, and even Elon Musk. The packages were delivered to public addresses like production studios and P.O. boxes, ensuring the teens couldn't be traced. The plan seemed foolproof. A week later, the GPS trackers started pinging. "They're working," Emily announced during a late-night meetup in Liam's basement. She pulled up a map on her laptop, showing tiny dots scattered across Los Angeles and beyond. "Look at this," she said, clicking on one. "This one's Taylor Swift's Beverly Hills mansion, and here's Drake's estate." Liam grinned. "Jackpot. Let's hit Taylor's place first. She's probably not even home, on tour or something." The group loaded into Jason's SUV, bringing gloves, black duffel bags, and makeshift masks. The drive to Beverly Hills was filled with nervous excitement. When they arrived at the gated mansion, everything was eerily quiet. The lights were off, and the long driveway was empty. "This is almost too easy," Ava whispered as they hopped the gate. But as they approached the front door, Emily's phone buzzed. She pulled it out and frowned. "What's wrong?" Liam asked. "The tracker. It moved," she said, staring at the screen. "What do you mean, it moved?" "It's not here anymore. It's back at my house." The group froze. "That's impossible," Jason said. "These things don't move on their own." Before anyone could respond, the mansion's lights suddenly flicked on, flooding the yard with blinding brightness. A deep, robotic voice echoed from hidden speakers. "Trespassers detected. Authorities have been notified." "Run!" Liam yelled. The teens sprinted back to the SUV, adrenaline pumping. They didn't stop until they were miles away, pulling into a quiet parking lot to catch their breath. "What the hell was that?" Ava panted. Emily stared at her phone, her face pale. "The trackers, they're all at my house now, every single one of them." "What does that mean?" Jason asked, panic rising in his voice. Emily looked up, her voice trembling. "It means someone knows." When they returned to Emily's house, the front door was ajar. Inside, the living room was dark, except for the faint glow of Christmas lights. "Hello?" Emily called out, her voice shaking. There was no answer. They crept inside, their footsteps echoing in the silence. On the coffee table sat a single wrapped gift, tied with a blood-red bow. "That wasn't here before," Emily whispered. Liam hesitated, then picked it up. The tag read, "To the naughty list from Santa." "Very funny," Liam scoffed, tearing off the paper. Inside was one of the GPS trackers they had sent out, but it had been crushed, the casing splintered and wires exposed. Suddenly, the Christmas lights flickered, and the faint sound of jingle bells echoed through the house. "Is this some kind of joke?" Ava demanded, her voice cracking. The bells grew louder, accompanied by the sound of heavy footsteps upstairs. "Someone's here," Jason whispered, backing toward the door. Before they could move, a deep, gravelly voice echoed from the top of the staircase. "You thought you could play Santa? Now it's my turn." A tall, shadowy figure emerged, dressed in a grotesque mockery of a Santa suit. The face was hidden behind a mask that looked stitched together, the eyes gleaming with malice. The teens screamed and bolted for the door, but it slammed shut before they could reach it. The figure moved impossibly fast, appearing in front of them with a sickening grin. "You've been very naughty," it growled. One by one, the teens vanished that night. The next morning, the police found Emily's house abandoned. The only clue was a pile of crushed GPS trackers on the coffee table and a note scrawled in red ink, "Santa knows." Across social media, the celebrities who had received the gifts posted cryptic messages. Taylor Swift, "To whoever sent that fan gift, thank you, but I think it's better you stay on the nice list next year. Christmas warning." Drake, "Some people don't know how to play the game. Stay safe, everyone." Elon Musk simply tweeted, "You get what you deserve." The teens were never seen again, and every Christmas, a new set of mysterious gifts appears on doorsteps across the country, each containing a single message: Santa's watching. For Anna Keller, the holidays had always been her favorite time of year. She loved decorating her little home with her 6-year-old daughter, Lila, baking cookies and sharing their festive moments online. Her Instagram and Snapchat accounts, filled with wholesome reels of their life together, had garnered a modest following. She never thought that one of those followers would become her worst nightmare. It started innocently enough in early December. Anna received a package on her doorstep, no return address. Inside was a beautiful snow globe featuring a miniature version of her home, complete with the twinkling Christmas lights she just strung the day before. "Wow, Mommy, it looks just like our house!" Lila exclaimed, shaking it excitedly. Anna was flattered but puzzled. She assumed it was from a fan of her Instagram account and posted a quick "thank you" in her stories. That night, she received a DM from an unfamiliar account, @SilentObserver, saying, "The snow globe looks perfect on your mantle. You deserve beautiful things." She felt a chill. How did they know where she put it? A week later, the doorbell rang. It was a group of Christmas carolers bundled up in scarves and hats. Lila rushed to the door as they started singing Silent Night. Anna noticed one of the carolers lingering near the back, not singing, but staring straight at her. His eyes were familiar somehow. The next morning, another package appeared. This one contained a personalized ornament featuring a photo of Anna and Lila, taken from a candid angle outside their favorite park. Anna's stomach turned. She checked her accounts for signs of unusual activity, but found nothing suspicious. Her friends dismissed her concerns. "It's probably just some lonely fan," one said. "You're overthinking it." But Anna couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching her. A few days later, while wrapping gifts, Anna heard a knock. Peeking out the window, she saw an Amazon delivery driver holding a package. She opened the door, but before she could sign for the delivery, the man said, "You look even more beautiful in person." Her heart stopped. "Excuse me?" He smiled. "I'm just saying Merry Christmas. Have a great day." He handed her the package and left. Shaken, Anna locked the door and called Amazon, but they had no record of a delivery to her address that day. Inside the package was a teddy bear holding a note. "It's like, I'm already part of your family." The final straw came a week later when Anna found her Christmas tree tipped over and her front door slightly ajar. Nothing was missing, but on the kitchen counter was a single candy cane tied with a note that read, "Running won't save you, Anna. I'll always find you." Terrified for Lila's safety, Anna packed up her belongings and moved to a new house 3 towns away. She deactivated her social media accounts, stopped posting entirely, and told no one except her closest friend where she was. For a while, things were quiet. Anna started to relax, even enjoying the peace of her new home. But one evening, she received an email from a new account. silentobserver74@gmail.com. Attached was a photo of her and Lila taken in their new backyard. The caption read, "You thought you could hide, but you belong to me now." Her phone buzzed. A notification popped up. She'd been tagged in a video. Against her better judgment, she clicked on it. It was footage of her and Lila walking through their new neighborhood, set to the song "I'll Be Home for Christmas." Anna screamed and immediately called the police. They took her report seriously this time, assigning officers to patrol her neighborhood. But the stalker was always one step ahead. He created secret accounts, tagging her in cryptic posts with messages like, "We're meant to be together, Anna. You can't escape destiny." On Christmas Eve, Anna's worst fear came true. Lila went missing. Anna had only left her alone for a moment to grab the cookies out of the oven, but when she returned, the door was wide open and Lila was gone. Panicked, Anna called 911 and ran outside. Snow was falling, and she followed small footprints leading to the woods behind her house. She found Lila sitting on a bench holding a stuffed teddy bear. Standing beside her was the man, the stalker. "Don't come any closer," he said, his voice eerily calm. "We're finally all together, Anna. Isn't this what you wanted?" But Anna wasn't alone. The police had been monitoring her home all evening and arrived just in time. The stalker was tackled and arrested, screaming, "She's mine! She'll always be mine!" Even though he was behind bars, Anna could never shake the feeling of being watched. She stopped posting online, changed her name, and moved again, this time across the country. Every so often, though, she'd receive a letter with no return address, signed Silent Observer. And every Christmas, she avoided snow globes, carolers, and anyone claiming to be an Amazon driver. Moral of the story: be mindful of what you share online. You never know who's watching. Thanks for diving into another jaw-dropping chapter of Scary Scandals. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. See you next time, if you can handle it.